A very good evening, Zimbabwe. You are listening to Studio 7 from the Voice of America in Washington on Wednesday, September 6th, 2023. This is the Diaspora Forum. I am Kip Stube. Tonight we are talking about the way forward for Zimbabwe a few days after President Emmerson Mnangagwa was sworn in following last month's disputed elections. Namhla sixoxa ngokumele kwenziwe kwele Zimbabwe kulandela ukhetho olukhulu olusanda kuqhutshwa eZimbabwe olucothozwa ngabantu bonke nje emhlabeni jikelele ngaphandle kwabebandla leZanu PF. But before we discuss this and related issues, let's take a brief look at what is happening in Zimbabwe. 38 councillors were sworn in today in Bulawayo, where the opposition Citizens Coalition for Change had a clean sweep in 29 contested wards. An additional 9 councillors elected under the proportional representation process were also sworn in by Town Clerk Christopher Dube.
I, Sarah Krohn.
I, Sarah Konya.
Do swear that I will be faithful.
Do swear that I will be faithful.
And bear true allegiance.
And bear
laws to council.
And bear true allegiance to Bulawayo City Council.
And observe the laws of Zimbabwe.
And observe the laws of Zimbabwe.
Bylaws, rules, orders.
Bylaws, rules, orders.
And resolutions of the Bulawayo City Council.
And resolutions of the Bulawayo City Council.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I,
Sarah Konya.
Do swear that I will.
Do swear that I will.
Well and truly serve Bulawayo City Council.
Well and truly serve Bulawayo City Council.
In the office of council.
In the office of councillor.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. I, Edwin Ndlovu.
I, Edwin Ndlovu,
do swear that I will be faithful and bear allegiance to.
Do swear that I will be faithful and bear allegiance to.
The Bulawayo City Council and observe the laws of Zimbabwe.
To the Bulawayo City Council and observe the laws of Zimbabwe.
Bylaws, rules and orders.
Bylaws, rules and orders.
Resolutions of the city of Bulawayo.
Resolutions of the city of Bulawayo.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Your name again?
I, Edwin Ndlovu,
do swear that I will well and truly serve Bulawayo City Council.
Do swear that I will well serve the Bulawayo City Council.
In the office of councillor.
In the office of councillor.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Sarah.
Namhla okwenzakeleyo ukuthi besigcoba ama-councillors lokho kusemthethweni ukuthi ama-councillor engakaqalisi umsebenzi agcotshwe ngutawuclerk kwedolobho esikwenzileyo. Ngiyakwazi ukuthi kube lo munye umbuzo elingathanda ukuthi libe kwazi ukuthi kuhamba njani. Iminyaka leminyaka and okusemthethweni ukuthi besihlanganisa ama-ceremony i-swearing in the first meeting e-council. Kodwa lonyaka ngokuphiwa amacebo ngokucetshiswa yilokhuzeni Minister of Local Government and Public Works bathe bona ngangcono ukuthi sehlukanise ama-ceremonies lawo i-swearing in ibe yodwa i-first meeting of council ibe yodwa ukwenzela ukuthi amakhansila aqala ayayifundiswa ukuthi nxa esengene ofisini kumele eqale enzeni and umthetho unjani. Until yakwazi ukuthi sivela ekhethweni ama-councillors nxa evela ekhethweni babe bevela ecampaigner and kucampaign kukhulunywa into eziningi ama-councillors afika kwenza angasoze akwanisa ukuzenza futhi ezinye eziyabe zingekho emthethweni. Kodwa lapha sesikhuluma iqiniso i-reality ukuthi ama-councillors elikwanisayo lokhu ngeke likwenza.
That is Bulawayo Town Clerk Christopher Dube, also in some students that they will work hard for the electorate.
Mina ngimelele uWard 5 koBulawayo ogoqela amasabhabha ayi-14. Ukugcotshwa lokhu lesifungo leso siqhatheke kakhulu ngoba simumethe ukusebenzela uBulawayo, simumethe ukugcina imbali kaBulawayo, kumethe njalo ukubana sizasebenza sizaba zinceku zabantu. Ngibona isifungo leso siqhatheke ngakhona lokho asonto nje yakudlala, asonto yaMahlayana into emqoka eqhakatheke kakhulu.
I'm so excited to be in this process because bakhathi they have a say when it comes to developing nyika yedu. Saka tiri kuti at least tikayikadzi tinyatsogadziria Bulawayo yedu zvizhinji zvikukanganisika, hatina kuti zvakakanganiswa nevanhu but zvinokanganiswa nekushaikwa kweamwe maresources, which is why we are coming in kuti titry kuti tibetserane sevakadzi tigadzire our city of Bulawayo village nenzira yatiri kuda nayo kuti idzokere pakuita glorified the way it was way back.
Kama ngambro ndinguchairperson wenhlanganiso yezakhamizi Bulawayo Progressive Residents Association.
Wabo councillor lenabe PR.
Sibenzela mhlophe athenke ngokubana bagcotshwe, kodwa ngibona ngathi ukugcotshwa kwabo kulo hambo olutsho oluqalisa njengezakhamizi. Uhambo lelo ngolubana kathesi babuye baye ebantwini babela abantu ngezifiso zabo. Ngikhuluma kanje vele kulezinto ezikhangelelweyo. Sile ndaba egodini esikhangele ukuthi nxa amakhazana amasengena ayikhangele ngokunjani isikhathi eside, imota zimiyela lapha emgwaqweni, amavenda agcwele iganga ngoba asuswa ngalo. So into yokuqala. Okwesibili kule ndaba yamanzi, sicela amanzi indaba babukhali ngoba i-72 hours le khona endaweni eziningi ayilandela. So balalowo mlando le ndaba yezibi sibona lapha edorobheni kulezibi eziningi laphayana, siyatshela ukuthi imota zenelanga. So balomlando ukuthi ekungeneni kwabo masinya babe leqiniso ukuthi imota ziyaqoqwa zibe khona zithwale izibi ngezindlela sithini ingqobo esibanika yona. I-first 100 days abaphumele program ama-short term issues abazadila yawo bayilethe ebantwini.
Bulawayo City Councillors and residents speaking with Studio 7 is Anastasia Ndlovu. Now back to the topic of the day. Newly elected members of parliament are expected to be sworn in tomorrow in Harare following President Emmerson Mnangagwa's inauguration on Monday. ZANU-PF has 176 parliamentary seats and the opposition Citizens Coalition for Change 103. This includes lawmakers elected under the proportional representation process. The opposition is disputing the outcome of the elections, which it has described as a gigantic fraud. Some Zimbabweans living outside the country were planning to return home soon after the August 23 general elections, hoping that the opposition would be in power. The election outcome has dashed these high hopes. Let's hear what some of these Zimbabweans are saying as a way forward for the country.
Kuthi ke isiguleka amadolo izanu ngicabanga ukuthi engxenye okungacina kuzanyiwe yikuthi kumbe kukhulunyiswane kube lo hulumende okukhumisana umlotha ukuthi kube ngohulumende okusikelana isinkwa phakathi kwezanu le CCC ngoba engikucabangayo ukuthi nxa bengasemukelekanga kahle kwabomhlaba baza kubona sokuswelakela ukuthi kube lokukhulumisana okuthile. So lokho ukukhulumisana ngicabanga ukuthi kungacina kusenza ukuthi kuvunyelwane okuthile kumbe kuthiwe njengoba kubonisa ukuthi umkhokheli webandla eliphikisayo we-CCC utholela amavoti amaningi okungenzeka ukuthi vele adlule wona akamnangagwa. So ke kungenzeka ukuthi ke bese kuphansi kodwa kuhluphe ukuthi nxa kuhlalwa phansi izanu izabifuna futhi ukuthi isalibambe isidubini. Andithi siyakhumbula isikhathi sikaMgabe ukuthi kwenzakala njani. Kufuneka sikhohlwe ukuthi kuthiwa i-new dispensation kwenzakala ngawena lani indlela uzabe efuna umdala ukuthi ahlale khona pha abesesithi ke umfana ababe besikelana isinkwa umfana ethole esincane kulesakhe.
We are going ahead and I'm sure some of you are think of a GNU that's a no, that's a non-starter. That language does not even exist in ZANU-PF's vocabulary, by the way. When in 2018 the president had 50.8%, he went on to rule this country very well without GNU. Now he's got 52.6%. he can still do that. And in addition to that, we have enough members of parliament to pass any bill that is required. So it's very easy for the president to go ahead and go. So we are going ahead. We expect fruitful 5-year term for the president, where he's going to continue implementing the policies and the programs that he's already started. I'm sure you listened to his speech that he gave during the inauguration, that it was pregnant of development promises, pregnant of rural development initiatives that are coming, that are on the card, pregnant with the promises of revival of this economy, pregnant of infrastructure revival strategies that are coming. So no one is moved by the attendance that came from other countries. We were not snapped. It was perhaps issues to do with the timing only. So yes, we congratulate the president for winning this election.
That is Mr. Kuda Musanka, a ZANU-PF activist, speaking about the way forward for Zimbabwe. Musanka is also a member of the Forever Associates Zimbabwe, a political group aligned to ZANU-PF. Before that, we heard from Mr. Nhlanhla Moses Ncube, Secretary General of Freedom Alliance. Let's take a very, very, very short break.
In times of change, when the world seems uncertain, and what we hear doesn't reflect what we see, we seek the truth. When we are told only part of the story, we lose trust. In moments of crisis, our dreams, hopes, and wishes for a better tomorrow depends on a free press. At Voice of America, we bring you the stories that people take risks to see. We connect the world and unite it with truth. At Voice of America, we show you the whole picture.
And joining us to discuss this issue, we have Mr. Victemba Mhlanga, a former senior Zimbabwean journalist. Mr. Mhlanga, who is currently working for a private company in London. He's also an independent political commentator. We are also joined by Mrs. Diana Zimbutsana Chambara of the Zimbabwe Exiles Forum. She lives in Johannesburg. And then we've got Mr. Xavier Zavare, chairperson of the ZANU-PF branch in the United Kingdom. Good evening, Mr. Mhlanga, Mrs. Chambara, and Mr. Zavare.
Good evening.
Welcome to the show. So let's start with Mr. Mhlanga. Mr. Mhlanga, elections have come and gone, but the opposition is digging in, saying the polls were rigged. Give us your take on this and the way forward for Zimbabwe, briefly.
Well, I think we're in a position where I think the easy part has been done, which is having the elections and having a winner. Now we are going to get onto the more difficult part, which is the part of nation building and part of delivering on promises. So on the other side, you've got ZANU-PF, the incumbents, will make all sorts of promises, and the opposition on the other side saying, can you show that you can actually deliver? And that is where the question will be.
So here you are saying that maybe you are seeing some negotiations being, crafted right now?
Well, I think from the get-go, ZANU-PF will not be entertaining any negotiations or any suggestions for a government of national unity. They will want to try and deliver on their objectives on their own. But I don't see how they do that without bringing the other parties onto the table as well.
So Zimbabweans should forget, Mr. Mhlanga, about fresh elections, right?
Sorry, can you come again on that point?
So Zimbabweans should forget about fresh elections being supervised by studies.
Oh, no. That is not going to happen. You must remember that it is the same leader who actually resisted an outright victory when Mugabe was defeated in 2008. Why would he want to try and have fresh elections this time around? That is not going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Mrs. Chambara, what's the way forward for Zimbabwe?
Well, for some of us who have been sojourning in the diaspora, and most people say South Africa is not the diaspora. I've been here with my family for 13 years now. And I'm in my late 40s. I was looking forward to going home and spending the majority, the years that are left of my working career in Zimbabwe. But that is not likely to happen. And the way forward, I don't know. I'm still in the level of shock that we have experienced, that my family and I have experienced, is just so much that we are still grappling with the emotions thereof.
How are you going to go around that? Because it seems there are no fresh elections, maybe, as per Mr. Mhlanga's school of thought,
I actually agree with Mr. Mhlanga that the incumbent is not likely to call for a fresh election. And also another thing that is going to really weaken the incumbent's favor is the fact that the president of South Africa went to the inauguration, and the sentiments expressed by the Secretary General of the ANC. South Africa holds sway and power in the SADC region, and whilst the SADC region might have made a pronouncement on the election, which is obvious to what the ZANU-PF government might have wanted, it's ultimately South Africa has got to come out in the open and give out a clear position. But in this instance, its clear position is that the elections were done in Zimbabwe and they are over, and the incumbent has won, so the country has to move forward.
Thank you very much, and stay on the line. Mr. Zobare, is your chance now. People are complaining bitterly about the election results. What should be done here, Mr. Zobare? A unity government, perhaps?
No, I'm not. I mean, the people who are complaining are the usual mourners anyway, who don't understand democracy and how it works, much as they talk about it. And say, democracy is democracy. We have run an election that has produced the result being that ZANU-PF won the majority of the seats, and the ZANU-PF candidate on the presidential ticket also won the presidency. Now, the way forward is exactly what President Emmerson Mnangagwa said in his inauguration speech, which is recognizing that we are Zimbabweans, we are one, and the only way we can develop our country and the only way we can progress is when we decide to work together, putting our political affiliations and differences aside and saying, okay, what is in the best interest of our capital city, Harare? What is in the best interest of our second capital city, our second city, Bulawayo and Intare, and our rural folks across the country? And we put our heads together and work together as Zimbabweans, for Zimbabwe, not just for our personal interest or for our political party's interest. And I would have expected a Democrat or somebody who understands democracy, where we are right now, to be coming out and saying, you know what, the election is done, it's in the past, let's put Zimbabwe first, and let's put Zimbabweans first. Now, I'm glad in some sense that some of the CC colleagues or people, or whatever you want to call them, they have seen the importance of recognizing the election results by taking the oath of office in their respective offices, which is councillors, as we have seen David Coulthard in Bulawayo and some other councillors.
Yes, so let's. Yes.
And I'm aware that CCC members of National Assembly who have taken their places in the hotels.
All right, so let's
take the office of head tomorrow.
Let's stop there at the moment. Just 1 second. We've got a caller in South Africa. Let's hear what this caller is saying. Caller, hello.
Salibonani njani laleli nabasakazi bonke.
Siyaphila kakhulu kunjani wena?
Siyaphila.
Ye, ukhetho solwenziwe ngubani esikhuluma la?
Likhuluma ngunkosiyazi wakoNdlovu ePlant Fountain.
Ye, basekhulu akukhulume laba sibili utshela abantu iqiniso ngokuzwa ngaphakathi kwakho. Ukhetho lwenziwe abantu abaningi bathi kungani kuqiliwe wena uthina ngokhetho lo. Njalo ukuthi kuya phambili kwenziwa ubona ikakha ngamafishane sibili.
Siyabonga singabantwana beZimbabwe esazalelwe enhluphekweni from since 1980. Mina ngazalwa ngo-1989 kuze kube lanamhlanje singakayitholi inkululeko. Ebesikhangelela ukuthi unyaka ka-2024 2023 yiwona unyaka esizothola khona inkululeko yokuthi ikhululeke sibuyele ezweni lakithi siyohlala labantwana siphumule ngenxa yombuso odlame abantu sifike sifa kusuka kudala kuze kufike manje. So ukhetho aluhambanga kahle impela alusijabulisanga. Siyafisa nokufisa ukuthi senze okusemandleni ukuthi njengentsha yaseZimbabwe iZANU-PF kumele bekwazi ukuthi ilizwe ayisilo leZANU-PF, ilizwe ngelabantu baseZimbabwe. Wonke uzulu wonke waseZimbabwe unelungelo lokuphatha ilizwe lokuzibusa ezweni ngenkululeko, kodwa lokho okwenzakalayo kubonakala ukuthi amandla eZimbabwe asinawo. Kodwa esifisa ukuthi ingqubekela phambili ngakho amazwe eSADC iyasimela singabantu singizizala nje eZimbabwe njengoba kulohlelo lokuthi lathi ngapha eSouth Africa singamalunga e-TCC singakufihli lokho. Mhlaka nge-Friday lathi sizoba nomhlangano laphana eZimbabwe. Siyamema bonke abantu ukuthi bebuye sizobona ukuthi umhlahlandlela uphi. Noma siyahamba siyethula endaweni ezifaneleyo kuyabe kulungile, kodwa into esiyifisa ingqubekela phambili ilizwe lethu libuye litshintshe sibuyele emakhaya siyehlala phansi ngenxa yokuthi lapho esikhona sesihleli ngokuncenyisa uma kuthiwa foreigner kubizwa umuntu weZimbabwe. So siyafisa ukuthi singabantwana beZimbabwe sibuyele ezweni lakithi siyethola lathi izibuko.
Yes, siyawuzwa kakhulu-ke Ndlovini, siyawuzwa sibili siyabonga. UNdlovu lapha kutsho what Mr. Ndlovu is saying is he wants to go back to Zimbabwe and he thinks Zimbabwe is still not independent. He's a member of the Citizens Coalition for Change. Mr. Mhlanga, your quick reaction to Mr. Zobare and what this caller was saying, briefly.
Yeah, well, first of all, let me refer to this particular caller just now. Now, I think it's true. People can be free and not necessarily be independent. And I think also we need to accept that the elections have come and gone. But just to connect that with Mr. Zarare's contributions earlier on, I think it is within that democratic space that we must recognize that people have the right to hold differing opinions. And the CCC is well within its rights to say we dispute the conduct of the elections, we dispute the outcome of the elections, we think the elections were flawed. And it is also within the CCC's rights to take up those positions that they want, whether it's council level or parliamentary level. The mere fact that ZANU-PF cheated does not mean that CCC is not entitled to those positions that they want, despite ZANU-PF's efforts to conduct a flawed election. And I think those are some of the key things that we need to bear in mind. And finally, I think what will actually be testing for the incumbent in ZANU-PF is probably not the result of this election. It's how ED actually manages the next 5 years in holding ZANU-PF together. We know that is a party which is faction-ridden. We know that even the way the elections are conducted, they give a clear indication that it's not a united party. We know that the key thing that government needs to deliver on its objectives is international recognition, re-engagement. How do they actually do that in the light of the fact that there are serious question marks on the legitimacy of the outcome of the elections?
Thank you so much, Mr. Mhlanga. Mrs. Chambara, what happens next? In Shona, you can just wrap it up there.
Yeah, yes, manje patoma. Zvichaitika kufambira apa hatichazivi kuti zvichafamba sei. Asi tinofanira kunzwisisa semaZimbabwenzi kuti vanhu vatiri kudhila navo vakaita sei. Zvakaitika pama-elections aya egore rineri zvinondifungisa gore ra-2002. Izvi zvanga zviri zvinoti 2002 anga ari muroyi anga ari mwana. 2023 azoita muroyi mukuru manje vakuru vevaroyi. Ini ndaivhotera kuWarren Park kuya kwe takatobuda panewspaper ZBC tapwanya jurawo vasina kuvhura polling station yedu tikapwanya jurawo tikazopinda imomo na1. But this instance manje kwanza hakuna mapapers, hakuna vamwe vaiti vakati parimwe ririko rapresident kunzi hakuna ramp, hakuna racancel. Saka izvozvo zvinotaridza kuti iye zvinezvi vanhu vanga vakatarisana neshumba chaiyo chaiyo inong'ara. Saka tondodzokera kumubvundo wako kuti zvoitwa sei. Amen. Kana vana vezimbabwe vachifungavo kuti vanogona kumisidzana neshumba iyoyo, votomisidzana neshumba. Asi kana pasina izvozvo vachingofunga kuti kudyiwa neshumba tinongodyiwa nyangwe tikadii, votochizavo. Shumba yosara yega mudondo mai.
Thank you so much. And let's take a caller from South Africa. Caller, kunjani kucingweni? Hello, makati caller kunjani ba?
Ndinofara makadini.
Ndinofara sitereki. Time yaenda. Kanda izureni wao.
Ya, ndiri kuti muZimbabwe muno zvakaitwa zvese izvozvo asi panga chingodiwa ndechekuti vanogota futi nokuti kuvhota kwacho yakaita isuti hatizi kuti vana vezimbabwe kana vakasarevhota zvakanaka izvozvi zvikoro zvapera mafrizi atokwisa anongopera chingisi yakavhota kana kuti zvinhu zviri seshe muZimbabwe satongoda achivhote
line yenyu haisi kunzwika zvakanaka. But I was hearing that you are saying people should vote properly, something like that, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Saka, you continue 30 seconds. 30 seconds, Ibak.
Ndiri kuti muntu muZimbabwe ngativhotei zvakanaka totangisa kuvhota ini ndo pane pfungwa dzangu nokuti tikasaidaro kuti tivhotera kuti zvimwe zvinongoramba zvakatishatira ende opposition parties handitika pane kuti dzanyerirwa kwanenge kuri paanenge vachiona kuti kuriko kunoda kungoti kugadzirisa kunge zvinhu zvese zvinoita right.
Tanzwa baba tatenda nemashoko enyu. Mr. Zobare, your last word, just 30 seconds, eh?
Isusu seZANU-PF asina problem nekutungamira nyika yeZimbabwe sekuvhoterwa kwatakaitwa nevanhu mugore rino ra2023. Dambudziko nderava vanofunga kuti ZANU-PF haina vanhu. Asi ndinogona kukuvimbisai chinhu ichi kunyange tikaita ma-elections every month for the next 10 years. ZANU-PF inenge ichingohwina ende ichihwina nekuda kwekuti mapolicies ainawo ndeegutsa ruzhinji. Mapolicies ainawo ndeedevelopment. Saka nekuda kwedevelopment iyoyo ndo zvinoita kuti vanhu varambe vachitivhotera. Saka vanofunga kuti hatina vanhu vari kuzvinyengedza.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mhlanga. I think you can have the last of the lastest words. Mr. Mhlanga?
I agree with Mr. Zarare. In the ZANU-PF is a party of development. But why break up things in the first instance and then claim credit for fixing things? We should not be in this mess in the first place if it wasn't for ZANU-PF. But good luck to ED and his government for the next 5 years.
Did you see any transformation economically and stuff like that, Mr. Mhlanga? Briefly?
Well, there's going to be a lot of hard work to be done, heavy lifting to be done. But as I say, good luck to the incumbent.
So that is Mr. Temba Mhlanga. He lives in London. And we also have Mr. Zabare. He is Xavier Zabare. He is in Harare. He's a ZANU-PF activist and the chairperson of the UK branch. We also had Mrs. Diana Zimbuzana Chambara. We have just come to the end of our show today. We wish to thank everybody who participated in this show. Let's meet again next time. This is Gibbs Dube in Washington, D.C. Good night, Zimbabwe.
Tonight, midnight, I forbade. Tonight, midnight, my heart returns to. You did or you were.